How's it going, everyone? How are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today, some big news for Chelsea here. Man, yeah. So this video is going to be a bit raw, a little informal, but I just wanted to get my thoughts out because the news just came out. And I have to be a little bit quieter because it is late. But first of all, I want you guys to go down to the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the news that Frank Lampard has just been sacked. He is no longer the manager for Chelsea. And I hate to say that I'm not incredibly surprised that Abramovich pulled the trigger that soon. But I also can't say I'm not disappointed. I think this shows that we really haven't learned a whole lot in these last few years. You know what I mean? I think this shows that our long-term goals, which is that we really don't have long-term goals. I feel like we're just too short-sighted. The higher-ups are just too short-sighted. They're too focused on winning now. And no, I don't particularly like that we're in, ninth in the table right now or something like that. Mid-table, pretty much. No, I don't like that either. But my thing is this proves that Abramovich is still, or the higher ups in general are still very quick to pull a trigger and just fire, and just they're so focused on winning now. When we were just putting together a team, that it is our future. We have so many players on the team that are our future. They are our future. And Lampard could have easily been our manager for the future, for the long term, if he just, worked on his game, he improved his tactics and stuff like that. He learned, he got experience, and he just pulled the trigger. And I can't say I agree with this decision. I'm honestly disappointed, to say the least. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry if you can hear the rain. It's coming down pretty hard. But like I said, disappointed, to say the least. I'm not super happy with this decision. And honestly, I think it's just ridiculous. Honestly, and then there's rumors that Thomas Tuchel is gonna replace him, and not the worst replacement by any means. Honestly, not the worst, but I think this is just really disrespectful, honestly. And I'm really that's really the only word I can really say that sums up my feelings. Is just disappointed that we just pulled the trigger so quickly and fired Lampard just like that. It's really frustrating. And the fact that Tuchel's already going to get brought in, I think this move honestly just put a whole lot of pressure on Chelsea and on whoever the next manager is, whether it's Tuchel or anyone else. This put a lot of pressure on the team as a whole now to perform, because the main reason in their little statement that they put out for Lampard being fired was performance. The results aren't going our way and there's no clear signs of improvement, which was something I did bring up in my half-season review. I did bring up the fact that there's just a lack of improvement there. The thing is, I'm coming from a point of view where I don't see what's going on behind the scenes, and who knows, maybe the higher ups don't even see what happens on the training grounds or what happens in the locker rooms. We don't know that stuff. Only Lampard and the players know that stuff. The coaching staff and the players know that stuff. They know that. They know what goes on behind the scenes. We don't, So maybe there was improvement and we just weren't seeing it behind the scenes. It was just taking a second to really come into play, come into the results and into the games. But like I said, I think this just put a lot of pressure on Chelsea to perform. I really do. I think this put a lot of pressure on Chelsea to perform, and it's unnecessary pressure. We were already pressured because results weren't really going our way. Now you're adding even more pressure because this next manager better perform. That's the thing. You asked Lampard for performance issues, so this next manager better perform. And if we don't get results, then this is gonna be a really stupid move from Chelsea. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's gonna be a really stupid move from Chelsea, like really stupid and disappointing. Like I said, it's pretty obvious we haven't learned from these past few years of axing managers quick and getting rid of them like it's nothing. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. You know, I saw the news and I almost didn't believe it. I almost didn't believe it. There was the notification from the Chelsea app was like the statement, and it didn't even say anything about Lampard, but I already knew. There's, unless like something happened with one of the coaching staff or something, like some scandal or whatever. But I knew. I was talking to my dad, and I mentioned that which I didn't agree with, but if they were to get rid of Lampard and bring a new manager, it should be now. It should have been before Luton, in my opinion. If you were going to bring in a new manager, it should have been before Luton. I really do think so, because that would have been a good game to try and implement your style, at least try it out, try something out. But the thing is too, is Lampard just debuted a new system against Luton, a 4-2-4, and who knows, that might have been the answer for the season. But now we'll never know. We'll never know. Hindsight's 2020. If Tuchel, whoever comes in, and we win the Champions League or whatever, then everyone will say that move was justified. But I feel like if the results don't go our way, if we get 5th in the Premier League and we've knocked out by Atletico, knocked down the next FA Cup round, we don't challenge for anything, then this move will be really, 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 really dumb. To be frank, really dumb. I had a very strong feeling his time was limited, but I had hope that maybe we'd learn and at least give him the season. At the very least give him the season. People forget Lampard only has a year and a half in the Prem of experience and a year in the Championship. You compare it to all the other managers in the Premier League, and he's completely outclassed in terms of experience, and he's been outclassed just in general, and that's gonna happen. When you go against Klopp or Mourinho or Pep, who've coached, who've managed incredible sides, like what do you expect? A rookie, a sophomore, I guess, taking on these veterans, 10 plus year veterans, 20 plus year veterans. What do you expect? What do you expect from the guy? He's still learning. He has to learn. It's like a player. It's like a new player coming in. He has to learn. He has to learn the ways. He has to learn the tactics, all that stuff. And the fact that they expected Lampard this season to win everything is just unrealistic, in my opinion. It doesn't matter how much money we spent. It really doesn't. It's unrealistic to expect him to win, 4 trophies this season. I'm sure that probably wasn't it, but still. We're in the round of 16 Champions League. We're in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We're 9th in the Prem, but it's not even completely out of reach. We're 9 points off the top, I think, or something like that. We're close, still pretty close to the top 4 as well. We're not completely out of it. This Premier League season has been really tight. So I think this move is just disappointing. I don't agree at all. I really don't. I don't get me wrong, I had doubts about Lampard. The second he got signed, I was very cautiously optimistic. People were pushing for him to be signed, but for him to be brought on. But I personally kind of hoped that Derby County got promoted, honestly, because the odds of him coming to Chelsea would have been lower. So he would have had an extra year with Derby County in the Premier League. He would have gotten a year of experience in the Premier League. Who knows who we would have got, but ultimately, I think this was just really disrespectful. A really disrespectful move towards Lampard. I think it was unnecessary. And now, like I said earlier, the higher-ups have just added a lot of unnecessary pressure on the team. There was already a lack of confidence, and you can maybe blame that on Lampard. Like I said, we're not in the locker rooms, we're not in the training grounds, we don't know. There was already a lack of confidence, and yet you do this, and players weren't even settled yet. That's the thing, they weren't even completely settled, and yet you're bringing in another manager who's got a whole different style of play, more than likely. You're putting all this pressure on these players while they're lacking confidence, while they're just not performing well right now, and it's just unnecessary, in my opinion. During this little rut, did I think Lampard was part of the problem? Yes. The whole problem? No. Because the players, at the end of the day, the players have to perform. The manager could tell them X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and break it down in great detail and tell them exactly what they need to do. And at the end of the day, it's up to the players to execute XYZ ABCDEFG. It's up to them. So no, Lampard wasn't completely the problem, you know. The players got to perform too. And I don't want to try and make excuses for him now that he's gone. It is what it is. You know, they made the decision. They clearly felt it was right. I personally disagree with the fact that they said they spent, you know, a lot of time deliberating and doing all this stuff talking about it, but I don't think they really did. I think long term, Lampard might have been the answer. Long term, he just needed experience. That's the issue with Lampard, is just experience. But I think he was trying something different too little too late, in my opinion. And with this matchup against Wolves coming up, they're probably expecting him to get beat again. To be frank, and so they decided to just axe him now. But I think this is just disrespectful and wrong, somewhat immoral, and it just proves that, again, Chelsea, the higher ups, Roman and all them, really haven't learned from these last few years, you know, because we've won, you know, things throughout the years: Premier Leagues, Champions League, couple Europa Leagues, FA Cups, Carabao Cup, whatever. We've won trophies, sure, but long-term sustained success is not our MO anymore. And it never, I mean, it really hasn't been since Roman took over. We go through short spurts of success, win a few trophies, and then fall off the wagon. You know, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, to be honest with you. And I feel like no one's learned the lesson there. You know, we should be focused long-term. We should be trying to build something. And this might not be true, but it just gives me that vibe that their goals are just still very short-minded, still very win now. And I think it's unnecessary to think like that. We have a great squad that can take us into the future, and yet we're making moves like this. You know, I don't know. At the end of the day, final thoughts: Frank deserves more. I'm curious, honestly, if anyone's going to try and pick him up, a championship side or something like that. I honestly doubt he's particularly happy right now. I really don't think he's particularly happy right now, to be honest. I really don't. And I'm curious also what the players think. How are the players feeling about Lampard leaving? I doubt they'll make any statements, but I wonder what's going through their minds, especially the younger players, you know, who shined under Lampard and who were given a chance under Lampard. You know, Gilmour, Hudson-Odoi was given a lot more time, not recently, but Mason Mount obviously given all the time, you know, the memes. Reece James, you know, given time. Fikayo tomori, which we handled horribly, by the way. Another big issue there, but I'm final thought: disappointed. Just final word: disappointed. That really describes my whole feeling about this whole situation. Just disappointed and frustrating. But yeah, end of the day, not happy. Not particularly happy with this one, but like I said, I want you guys to go to the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on this. I'm disappointed. I'm telling you that. You guys might be happy because, you know, I know a lot of people wanted him out because of the results. I know the fans probably played a big part of how vocal they were. Probably. I don't doubt it. Pressure from the fans and stuff. But yeah, go down in the comments. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Frank Lampard getting sacked. While you're down there, check out the socials in the description. My Twitter and Instagram are both down there. Please share the socials with your friends, family, everybody know. Let the people know Blue Hermit's where it's at. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.